Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Today I will be budgeting out this week's paycheck, which is $741.79. If you are new, welcome. My name is Alex. I'm a single mom to one beautiful daughter named Savannah. She is 12 years old and I'm 32 years old, and we live in the state of Wisconsin. I'm currently saving up for a house. I'm an independent contractor. I shop and deliver groceries to customers, so if you're a gig worker, you could probably relate to my budget. My paychecks are very inconsistent, and that is why I love using the cash envelope system to help me budget out each week's paycheck, helps me stay on track, and honestly, this method has helped me save the most amount of money so far. So I hope to inspire others to try out the cash envelope system if you have not yet, or just make a budget plan in general. All right, so let's get started. This week's paycheck, $741.79. It was definitely a good week. I will be setting aside 15% of my paycheck, which this week it is $111.26. This goes into a savings account strictly for a house. After that, I am left with $630.53. And then I have to factor in my bills. I get paid weekly, so I figure out what my bills are weekly. And for my bills this month, my bills have changed, which I'll go over that in a second. So I'm going to deduct $179 for bills, and I am left with $451.53 that I can technically spend this week. So watch me figure out how I would like to utilize that money this week. These are all my categories that I have in my wallet and binder, and everything off to the left is the amount of money that I currently have in each envelope. This helps me determine where I need my money the most. Other than that, I do have a typical set amount of money that I like to put into certain envelopes per week. So let's go over my bills because that has changed. My rent is only $88 per week now, and that is because I had a huge rent credit for this month's rent, and that is because unfortunately the last manager put something in wrong into the computer. So my rent is determined on how much I make. It's a certain percentage and basically certain assets and all of that stuff. Basically, what ended up happening was she put into the computer that I made 20% interest off of my savings account, which I have a pretty large savings account. So I was paying a lot more in rent for the last couple of months. So I had a huge credit for this month only. So that is why my rent is lower for this month. This is only going to happen for this month, but in general, my rent will be slightly lower than what it used to be moving forward. And then also for my TV streaming, I pay $5 per week for TV streaming. I ended up canceling. There was an HBO add-on for Hulu and Disney Plus. I canceled that, and I will re-add that again in the future once I feel like there's a lot of things that my daughter can watch and I can watch. But for now, we typically bounce around between TV streaming apps. So currently we are doing Netflix and HBO. And then I also canceled my gym membership. So in general, I have less bills now, and my rent is a lot lower, so that is why there has been a significant change. Again, this will only be for this month. And since I know that this month I will have a lot of extra spending money because of the rent credit, I did go ahead and make a list for myself right here, and then I moved it to over here because it started to become a pretty large list. Just a list of things that I would like to get. Things that I've been kind of putting off because I know it's expensive and it's going to take a while to save for. So I figured I could start working on those things. So this is just my list. Christmas, obviously, I need to get that back up to $400 because I recently made a Christmas purchase of Christmas decorations. So I do need to get that envelope back up to $400. I would love to get a luggage set and I already know the price and everything. So that is something I really need to get because I don't have my own luggage. I've always used my mom's luggage in the past. I've borrowed it. I went to Colorado about a year ago to go visit my dad. So I definitely need to buy myself a luggage set for sure because I can't always borrow my mom's. And since I have the extra money for this month, I think I might utilize that money for a luggage set. And then I also still need the 4 storage shelves that I am replacing. That's $141.45. And then I also need to purchase some more items for my daughter's closet. I've been updating it, and I need to buy another storage cubicle thing, and then I need to buy the drawers for it as well, which will cost $203.53. I also want to get a steam mop set that's $69.98, and that's like a whole set. There's like pieces that detach from it. And then I also want to get this floor scrubber broom situation that's like $20. And then I also need to buy a new food processor. I have a Ninja set that came with a food processor attachment, but unfortunately it broke. I looked on the internet and it's like $50 to replace, even though I got a really good Black Friday deal on it and I only spent like $100 on the whole set. So to spend $50 just to replace that one piece is kind of crazy. So I have to figure out what I want to do, if I want to just buy a separate food processor. There's one that I can buy at Walmart, a Black & Decker one for $50, or I could possibly just get a whole new Ninja blender set and then sell the old one that I have. The new one is around $200. That's like on a really good deal. So I could possibly do that. I just haven't decided which route I want to go. And then I also need a new clock. So I have a clock, but it doesn't work. It's like a decorative clock and it's just been hanging up. And it really bothers me that it stopped working, but it's so pretty that I don't want to take it down. But I haven't found anything online, so that is why it's kind of like on the bottom of my list right now. All right, so let's actually get back into the budgeting portion. So this week, $451 to work with. That is a lot. I'm very blessed. So I'm just going to start from the top since I have a lot of money to work with. In my envelope, I currently have $152. I like to give myself $20 per week. So I have $431 left. Family Fun currently has $1. I like to give us $20 per week for Family Fun. So now we have $411. Household currently has $111. I'm going to leave this one blank for now because I know basically all the things that are on my list would be considered like household related. So I will see how much money I have left over at the end of it. Beauty has $9, so I will go ahead and add $1 to beauty to make beauty $10. So I have $410 left over. Clothing for Savannah and myself. I want to slowly to start to add money into these envelopes for when we need something. So I'm going to give us each $20. So now I have $370 left within the budget. Savannah's envelope is currently at $6. I bought her a dance t-shirt and then I bought her a yearbook, so she's down to $6 again. It would be really nice to keep her envelope at $50 with all of the sports, so I am going to add in $44 this week. $326 left. Savannah's fun money. I am going to put $5 in there. She currently has $39. This envelope is just for going out with friends outside of Family Fun, so she can do activities with friends. Gas is currently at $45, so I will need to add in $55 to make that $100. I always like to have $100 at all times in the gas envelope. So I have $266 left. Vehicles, I'm going to skip that for now, and time off, I will skip that as well. Electronics, I'm going to skip. Dental and medical, I'm going to skip. Birthday and gifts, skip. Christmas is at $362, so I want this to be at least at $400, so I am going to add in $38 into Christmas. So I have $228 left within the budget. Holidays, I'm going to keep at 0. Vacation, I like to do $20 per week so we can reach $1,000 at the end of the year. $208 left. Food still has $200. I typically spend around $50 per week on food, so I am not going to add anything into there quite yet. And then Savannah's wallet, I need to give her $5 for chore money. So I have $203 left within the budget. So that is the money that I will use to start things off of the list. Christmas, I'm just gonna put a check mark next to here. I might potentially add another $100 to Christmas, but I'm gonna hold off on that. Luggage set, I think I am going to get the luggage set first because we are actually going to the Kalahari. My mom is paying for the trip to go to the Dells. So we are super excited to go there. So it would be nice to actually have a luggage set, even though we're not going to fly. We are going to drive. So I need $118.25 for that. I will add that to the household fund. So, okay, let's see here. I have $203 left. I'm gonna just write that down quick. So household has $111. I want to have $50 in there for actual like cleaner and like toilet paper or any type of household items. I have a surplus of $61 in household. I need to put $119 in for luggage. So I'm gonna do 119 minus 61. So I need to add $58 more into household to be able to get the luggage set, which I have well over $58. I have $203. So if I just add in the whole 203, I should be able to get the 4 storage shelves as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna add in 203 into household. So I will have $314 in household minus, I want to have $50 left within that envelope, and then minus 119. So I'll have $145. So yeah, I'll be able to get the luggage set and the shelving that I need in my storage closet. So yeah, I'll be able to cross off those 2 things, and I'll have a little bit of leftover money, which is fine. So I'm just going to recalculate everything and make sure I did the math all correctly. That would really suck if the math was not mathing. All right, 451. So that looks good. The math is mathing, always a good thing. All right, you guys, well, that pretty much wraps up this video. I will go ahead and insert what I spent this week shortly after. So if you want to stick around for that, that's awesome. If not, Have a lovely weekend, you guys. Tomorrow I will be posting the cash envelope stuffing portion. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Thank you so much for all of your love and support on my channel. All the likes and all the comments helps my channel grow. So thanks so much. See you later. Hey everyone, this is what I spent in a week as a single mom with one kiddo. I spent a total of $23.52 at Walmart. I needed to grab something quick and easy to make, so I got some cheese raviolis. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I stopped getting emergency pizzas because they're like $1 more than what they typically are. So instead, I feel like I will just get emergency cheese ravioli because it's super quick and easy to make. And then I also got some breadsticks to go with it. I enjoy these even though it's an off-brand. And then our next meal for this week, I'm making a veggie beef nacho situation. 1 bag of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, organic. 2 peppers. 1 zucchini. Jalapeno peppers. Tomatoes. Lettuce. Green onions. So every single week I typically only need to make 2 family meals for my daughter and I for the week for dinner, and that'll last us the whole entire week. My daughter also qualifies for the free breakfast and lunch at school, and then for lunches I typically just have peanut butter toast, to be honest, or I have salads. And then I also picked up 4 bananas. And then we're completely out of onions. What I do is I'll get a huge bag of onions and chop them all up at once and put them in the freezer. And then I typically will have onions that will last us for a month or 2 months. We went shopping the day after Halloween, so I want to show you guys everything that we got. I spent a total of $29.27 on candy. My daughter did not go trick-or-treating this year because she went to 2 Halloween parties instead, so I did get a pretty large amount of candy for that reason. She picked out this huge, large bag of Twizzlers and Jolly Rancher items, and a pretty large bag of chocolate, 60 pieces, 3 Musketeers, peelable gummy candy, jack-o'-lantern sandwich cookies. Low-key, my daughter and I are most excited about these sour candy slime. Yes, candy slime. We've never had candy slime before, so we're excited to try these. A cotton candy layer cake. And lastly, these Hershey Nuggets pumpkin spice latte. And then we got everything from Target because Target was 50% off of candy today versus Walmart was only 25%. So all of the candy that you see except for this bag was from Target. This was from Walgreens. And then I spent a total of $37.80 also at Target on non-related food items. We bought Christmas stuff, which my daughter was totally making fun of me, but we actually needed new stocking holders. I have ones that like go onto a shelf and clip onto a shelf, but I don't have anything to where I could put somewhere else. And we've been kind of running into a problem where I don't have enough room on our little shelf that we decorate on for all the stockings. So I bought these, and I kind of think that these would go good on my entertainment stand in the living room. So I ended up buying a total of 3, and there's one that looks slightly different. This is the one that looks slightly different, and I forgot to mention they light up. So cute. And I bought 3. Like, I've been single for like 2 years, and I kind of plan on it for a little bit longer, but I bought 3 because eventually down the line, maybe there will be a man in my life. I don't know. We'll see. I just bought 3 because it would be really hard to find another one like this, like later on down the road. So I bought 3 just in case. They were $12 each. And then we went over to Walmart, and I was trying to get my daughter to hypothetically find a costume that she might like, but she couldn't find anything. And I think I was just like in the thrill of like 50% off, and I ended up buying this saloon gal costume, which I'm like really debating on my decisions because I don't even know if I'll wear this, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'll return this, but I did spend $15.73 on this costume. It does come with a lot of things, a lot of accessories, which is a plus. I don't know. Should I keep it? Should I not? Let me know in the comments. And I think I picked this out because I'm oddly into like Western movies right now. I think I'm turning into my dad. Like, I'm enjoying the History Channel, and yeah. And this costume is a great example of sometimes you're in a store and you have a budget and you go outside of your budget because of a sale perhaps, and you get a little too excited, and you come home and you realize that was a bit silly, and then you still have that time to actually return the item. And I'll be honest, like, I know I'm pretty good with my budget and sticking to it, but there are always moments like this that happens. Like, I'll be honest, I bring something home and then I'll like return it within the next 2 days. So that totally happens to me, you guys, all the time. So in total, I spent $223.48 this week. I spent $52.79 on food, $22.25 on a dance shirt for my daughter, $15.73 on a costume, $37.80 on Christmas decor, $18.35 on fast food, $54.70 on gas, and $21.99 on a school yearbook for my daughter. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, all of the love and support on my channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all of the likes and comments. It really helps my channel grow. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.